There's a lot of games we want to talk about this week, and let's start off Thursday night, Bills-Dolphins. Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite in Miami on Thursday night. We're finally getting good Thursday night games all of a sudden. Dolphins minus 2.5. I'll start with you, Dylan.
First Thursday night game, one of the issues, and I've complained about this for the past 3 weeks, is when you try to form an opinion, it's like you have 1 week, right? You can't use last year's stats because a lot of these rosters have either flipped over, there's some differences. Looking at the Bills from last week, we know the Cardinals' defense is bad, so it's like how much credence do you put into the Bills' offense being that good? I think Josh Allen was probably the top-performing quarterback, maybe not in the air, but 4 total touchdowns. He did have that fumble. And then you look at the Dolphins, who brought it, it went down to the wire. They kicked the game-winning field goal against the Jags. Over 100 penalty yards, that's a little concerning. But Tua did lead the day in pass yards. So I kind of see why the Dolphins are the favorite here. Obviously, divisional game at home. That's huge. I lean the Bills. I just think Josh Allen gets it done. Again, the numbers might be inflated because of that bad Cardinals defense. I have questions about the Bills defense because I don't think the Cardinals offense is going to be that great. So I lean the Bills here, divisional underdog. Not going to take anything, but this is a great Thursday night game to get things started.
Connor.
I think this is all Bills. I think if you look at week 1, the Jaguars blew that game against Miami. Travis Etienne had the ball on the goal line, fumbled it out of bounds. That would have made it 24-7. All of a sudden, the very next play, Tyreek Hill, 80-yard touchdown bomb. Like, that was the momentum-swinging, game-changing play right there. If Etienne holds onto the ball and Jacksonville punches it in, goes up three possessions, that's game right there. They walk out of Miami with a W. So for Jacksonville to blow that was a little disheartening. I think it's all Bills here. You look at that Bills-Cardinals game, there's a lot of variance plays. The Cardinals had that dynamic kickoff return for a touchdown. That's probably not going to happen again. There was a couple long penalties on Buffalo that bailed Arizona out early that led to their touchdowns. I just think Josh Allen has adjusted well to this new receiving core already in their first regular season game together, and I don't trust this Dolphins team. I'm not going to say they're on fraud watch like we were bashing them last year, but I think after they squeaked out a win in week 1 they didn't really deserve against the Jaguars team that really lost the game more than Miami won it. So I like Buffalo here, especially as an underdog. I know it's in Miami. I still think Josh Allen, even with the hand banged up a little bit, I think he'll be fine. So I like Buffalo here in week 2.
Ben.
Cool, yeah, no. Like, kind of we were talking about in the AFC East preview, like, we had a lot of questions about the Bills. I think the Dolphins, it's like, we know what they are. We know that they're, like, a team that can maybe, like, win a game in the playoffs. Probably isn't going to go much further than that. Like, we know what the Dolphins are. The Bills, I think, came into this season with a lot more question marks. I came away from this week 1 game feeling like the Bills answered a lot of those questions. They just looked the part. Josh Allen looked the part. After being a little shaky at times last year, although the stats don't really reflect it, he just looked a little off last year. He looks comfortable this year. He looks confident this year. I agree that Bills-Cardinals game wasn't as close as it looked or it appeared on paper that the score would indicate. I also think that Miami at home is usually a great home field advantage. It's been talked about with a lot of players. They're like, damn, it's 1 p.m. on a Sunday in September where, like, the heat is on the visiting sideline, whereas, like, the Dolphins are, like, in the shade. They're like, we're baking out here. Like, this is bad. This is bad. But with it being a Thursday night game, I don't think that definitely doesn't exist as much, along with the fact that it's not like Miami's known for having, like, a crazy crowd. I think that plays a factor in here, too. I think the Bills are the better team. I think the Bills are the best team in this division. And I think they win this game.
Already out.
Already flip-flopping.
I'm thinking the Bills are the best team in this division. I feel like they answered a lot of questions that we had about them. We're like, are they going to look really bad? And although the score made it seem like they did, they really weren't. Like, they looked more comfortable. They looked more like a Bills team from pre-Damar Hamlin injury, which frankly, like, that's kind of what we're talking about, is like pre-Damar Hamlin injury, post-Damar Hamlin injury. Those are two different Bills teams. They looked like the pre-Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, I have concerns about the Bills' defense, though, in this game. This could end up being a shootout and being played. This is going to look like a Big 12 football game played in the 30s, it feels like, because Kyler, especially in that first half, second half, a little bit different story. Kyler in that first half was having his way with the Bills. Everything was open. He was able to scramble and get out of the pocket. Now, that's not going to happen with Tua in this game, but he's thrown to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I had problems with the Bills secondary in that game. Also, you mentioned it, Connor. Those long penalties just killed them. We're killing the Cardinals. So I am not as Josh Allen in that Cardinals game put them on his shoulders. He carried them through that game, whether it's through on the ground or making ridiculous plays. I think the score was pretty fair in that Cardinals Bills game when you were watching it.
I
watched that entire game.
It feels like it could have been 2 possessions. It feels like it could have been 2 possessions, especially in the second half.
It's the second half for sure. Second half for sure. You're right. It was more. The Bills dominated more in that second half. But that first half, it was not pretty from Buffalo in no way. So I guess it takes a little time to gel. This one's tough because it's just a divisional game. I don't feel strongly either side on this one, but I agree with you guys. I would go Bills solely because of Josh Allen in this game. Because go ahead.
Well, I'm planting my flag on the grounds that Josh Allen is still the second best quarterback in the league. And on a Thursday night game, on a short week, you know what you need? You need a guy on your team that's the quarterback that can be a leader and take over an offense. And if he needs to run 3 touchdowns in and carry the ball 15 times, he is built to do that, even on a short week.
So no one's here. No one's on the Dolphins here.
Can't do it.
Wow.
No.
I'm in the camp of being like, I don't feel super strongly. Like, if the Dolphins win this, I feel strongly there's going to be a lot of points in this game, like Karter said, like a Big 12 shootout. But
48 and a half.
Ooh, it was 51.
It was 51.
Yeah, I like the over. I like the over still, but like, I could see the Dolphins winning by one possession. I could see the Bills winning by one possession. I tend to favor Josh Allen in this spot, but you're not going to see me shocked if the Dolphins win by a field goal.
Dylan, will you say that the Dolphins won't score more than 10 points?
Can you show your face?
No, I can't say that.